Last class we did comparative statics with the supply and demand model. Today, let's do a comparative static analysis of the national income model. And let's take a simple national income model to begin with. The simplest one. Y, national income, equals C plus I plus G. Where you recall C is consumption expenditures, planned consumption expenditures, I is investment, and G is government expenditures. This first equation is a simple equilibrium condition. And then let's suppose we have a consumption function. Okay. And in this model, what are the endogenous variables? Andrew? Y and C. Those are the two endogenous variables. The models whose values, equilibrium values, are to be explained by the model. Okay. And what about the exogenous variables? What are the exogenous variables? Yes, I naught and G naught. Investment and government expenditures are the exogenous variables, variables whose values are determined outside the model. The model doesn't explain their values. Okay. And then what about the parameters in the model? What are the parameters? Yeah, A and B. Okay. And what we're assuming about A is typically we assume A is positive. And B, what is B in this model? It is a parameter, but can you say more about what B represents? Marginal propensity to consume. Okay. It simply tells you for a $1 increase in national income, how much of that $1 would be spent on consumption. And what do we assume about the value of B, Ben? The value of the marginal propensity to consume is restricted to be in what range?
0 and 1.
Between 0 and 1. Greater than 0, but less than 1. Okay. Now, suppose we're interested in doing a comparative static analysis on the equilibrium value of national income. Okay. Then the first step would be to find Y star, find the equilibrium value of national income. And that would be very simple to get. Just substitute in for C in this first equation and then solve for Y. So let's just do that quickly. We would get Y equals A plus BY. That's the expression for C, plus I plus G. Now get over all the Y terms over on the left-hand side. So we would have Y minus BY equals A plus I plus G. Factor out the Y, and then you have Y times 1 minus B equals A plus I plus G. And then divide both sides by 1 minus B, and you've got it. So Y star is A plus I plus G divided by 1 minus B. Notice Y star is expressed in terms of parameters and exogenous variables. That's always what your goal is when you find the equilibrium values of the variables. On the right, you want to get an expression that has only parameters and exogenous variables on the right-hand side, which is what we have right now. So we could look at 4 different partial derivatives. We can look at partial Y star, partial A. We can look at partial Y star, partial B, partial Y star, partial I, and the last partial Y star, partial G. Now, the sign of these partial derivatives will tell us what kind of relationship exists between this parameter or exogenous variable and the equilibrium value of national income. Okay. For example, let's just do partial Y star, partial A. What will this expression be? What is partial Y star, partial A? Yes, Hal? Yes. The easiest way to do this is notice A appears only in the numerator, and the coefficient on A is 1 over 1 minus B. So that's the partial derivative of Y star with respect to A. Okay. It's just 1 over 1 minus B. And what do we know about B? By assumption, the marginal propensity to consume is restricted to be what? Yes. So, is it Joseph? Yeah. So what does that mean? The fact that the marginal propensity to consume is between 0 and 1, what does that mean about the sign of partial Y star, partial A? Yes. Because B is going to be some fraction between 0 and 1, so that means 1 minus B is positive. So both the numerator and denominator are positive, so this thing is positive. So what does that mean in words? By the way, what was the term we were using for the parameter A? Autonomous consumption, the intercept of the consumption function. How much consumption you would have if national income were 0. Okay. So in words, what does this positive partial derivative mean? Exactly. That Y star and A, that Y star and autonomous consumption move in the same direction. So if there's an increase in autonomous consumption, that'll cause the equilibrium value of national income to rise. If there's a decrease in autonomous consumption, that'll cause the equilibrium value of national income to fall. A and Y star move in the same direction. Okay.